So we're going to start doing some rules. I know you've been waiting on that. You're tired of doing the whole big limit formula for derivatives. That formula is called the definition of the derivative, but now I'm going to start with some shortcuts. And some of them you already kind of know, and some of them you know a little bit of it, but I need to add to it. So the first one is called the constant rule. Basically all that's telling you is that if f of x is a constant, like if f of x is 10, or if f of x is 20, or if f of x is negative 5, then the derivative of x is 0. And that's because the derivative of any number is just 0. The slope of a line, a constant line, is 0. One other thing I want to show you before I show you some more rules. You're going to see derivative written lots of different ways, and here's 3 ways, but all of these mean the same thing. They mean find the derivative. Find the derivative of the function of f, find the derivative with respect to f, find the derivative with respect to x, find the derivative of y with respect to x. So all of those are other ways you might see it written. Alright, here's the power rule. And the power rule is a great rule because we can find the derivative of most anything if you can rewrite the problem as a power. The derivative says that you bring the number down, the power, you bring it down in front of x, and then you subtract 1 on the power. That sort of makes sense because I've told you if you have a quadratic, the derivative is a line. So that's 1 power less. If you have a cubic, the answer is a quadratic. Well, that's 1 power less. That's what it means by n minus 1. 1 power is less. But our constant, the number in front of x, will be the n, and that's just because that tells you how wide or narrow the graphs would be. So let's look at some examples. So the derivative of this first one, x, if you want to think of it as x to the 1, you can. We kind of already know the derivative there because that's a line, and we know that the slope would be 1. But if I use the rule, the 1 comes in front, and then you subtract 1 on the power, which you would get 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So the derivative there is just 1. Alright, if I do the derivative of x to the third, the 3 comes in front, subtract 1 on the power, so that's the derivative. Alright, the power works with fractions. It also works with square roots and cube roots and those kinds of things, because what can happen is you can rewrite this as a power. The cube root is the same as the 1/3 power of x. So now if I want to find the derivative, I can bring my power in front, subtract 1 on the power, so that's 1/3 minus 1, and then there's the derivative. On the next one, I can rewrite that as x to the negative 2. Anytime you have something on the bottom, we can bring it up and make that a negative power. So then I still can use the power rule. The derivative is negative 2 in front, x, and then subtract 1 in the power. And all of these, you've seen problems similar to most of these where we've done it the long way. And hopefully the derivatives make sense even the way that we've been doing them. There's a second part to the power rule, and it says that if you have a constant in front of g of x, that the derivative is, you continue with the constant and then you just find the derivative of g of x. So here's some examples of those. That's just saying there's a number in front of the function. So if I want the derivative here, what you do is you multiply 3 times 5, and then you still subtract 1 in the power. On the next one, the first thing I would have to do is I would have to rewrite that, make it 2x to the negative 1, and then I do the derivative, negative 1 times 2, and then subtract 1 in the power. The next one looks kind of weird, but it's very similar as well. If I rewrite that, that would be 4/5 t squared. I'm just going to put the t to the side. It's not on the bottom, it's on the top, so it's just kind of there to the side. And now if I do the derivative, I would do 2 times 4/5, which is 8/5. Subtract 1, so then you just get a t. Alright. So I need to rewrite this one again. I can rewrite it as 2x to the 1/2. Now I want the derivative. The derivative would be 2 times 1/2, which is 1, and then subtract 1 in the power, so negative 1/2. Alright, number 9. I've got to rewrite that one again as well. So I would cube everything on the bottom. And because that x is on the bottom, I would probably rewrite it and make it x to the -3. After I do that, then I can do the derivative. -3 times 5/8. And then subtract 1 in the power. Alright, the sum and difference rule. Basically what it says is that if you want to find the derivative of two functions that are added together, you find the derivative of each function and add it together. This does not apply to quotients and to products, but for sum and difference it does. So let's look at those examples. If I want the derivative here, that just means I find the derivative of each piece. The derivative of x to the third would be 3x squared. The derivative of -4x would be -4, and then the derivative of 5 is 0, so I don't write anything. On the next one, I would probably rewrite this as 2x to the -1/2 and 2x to the -1. And now, when I want to find the derivative, I just do the derivative of each piece. The derivative of 3x to the 4th is 12x to the 3rd. The next one I would do -1/2 times 2, which is -1, times the -1, so +1, x, subtract 1, so -3/2. And then this one I'll do -1 times 2, which is -2, and subtract 1, so -2. Alright, these two problems are written a little differently. They look like they're quotients, so it doesn't seem that we can use these rules. But what we can do is we can rewrite both of them a different way, then find the derivative. So on the first one, I can divide everything by x, and I could make it 3x minus 1 plus 1 over x. After I do that, then to find the derivative of 3x is 3. Derivative of 1 is 0, and 1 over x, I need to kind of think about that. That's x to the -1, so the derivative would be -x to the -2. On the next one, we're going to divide it again. 2 square root of x divided by square root of x, and x squared divided by square root of x. On the first one, the square root of x's will go away, so you get 2. On the second one, you subtract exponents, so when I do 2 minus 1/2, I get 3/2, and then I want to find the derivative of that. The derivative of 2 is 0, and the derivative of -x to 3/2 would be -3/2, and then subtract 1 in the power, x to the 1/2. Alright, two more, and we kind of talked about them in class today. The derivative of sine is cosine, and the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Alright, so the derivative of 2x, just bring down the 2 and find the derivative of sine, which is cosine. The derivative of x plus cosine of x. So the derivative of x is 1. The derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x. And then there's my answer. So the derivative of cosine of x minus pi over 3x. Well, the derivative of cosine of x is negative sine x. The derivative of negative pi over 3x would be negative pi over 3 because the x is just to the first power, so it's just that coefficient in front. There's 3 try problems. Notice again, you're not having to use that long formula, so these should be quick problems to try.